is up, book nerds? My name is Hillary, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel called Is the Book Better Than the Movie? I'm going to be talking about the movie and the book After We Fell by Anna Todd. So before we get into discussing this book and this series, let me give you a recap about what the After series is about. The After series is about a boy named Hardin and a girl named Tessa. And Hardin is the type of guy who is a hardcore partier and hooks up with a lot of girls. Tessa is the type of girl who is clean cut, who is going to school to do her studies and get a job right afterwards. Tessa has a boyfriend in the first movie, and they end up breaking up, and her and Hardin start dating. By the end of that movie, she finds out that Hardin only dated her because he made a bet with his friends. She leaves, and he doesn't hear back from her for a while. So then we get into the second movie, or second book, and this is where you're getting the raw emotions of Tessa in this book and how she feels about what Hardin did. But in the end, her and Hardin end up together and fight a lot and have a lot of spicy scenes, and by the end of that movie she runs into her dad, who she hasn't seen in years. And yes, Tessa has abandonment issues from her father. Hardin also has issues with his dad, who left him when he was a kid because he was an alcoholic. His father is the dean of the college that Hardin and Tessa go to, and Hardin despises his father and a lot of anger towards him. So we're going into the third movie, and at the end of the second movie, Hardin finds out that Tessa has a job offer in Seattle, Washington. Tessa decides to take it, and Hardin isn't happy about this. And in the end, there's a lot of drama in it, but this is where I want to discuss the difference between the book and the movie and tell you my thoughts on both of them. I have a little notepad here of notes that I took of parts of the book that I noticed was missing from the movie. So let's go over that. I thought that the book was amazing. I think it's the best book in the series. And yes, a lot of people have issues with the series because Hardin and Tessa have not a healthy relationship with each other because they fight, they get back together, they sleep together, and that's how they solve their problems. Well, and the third one is where Tessa finally is starting to stand up to Hardin and is deciding that she wants her happiness and he will not hold her back from that. That is one of the reasons why I liked this book so much. So let's get into what is missing from the movie. So in the movie, Tessa, Hardin, and Hardin's dad, stepmother, and stepbrother go on a trip together for, I believe it's just a weekend getaway up to their vacation home. And Hardin and Tessa start off on good terms, they're happy, but then Hardin and Tessa get into an argument. I can't remember fully what it's about. I think it's about her taking the job in Seattle and whatnot. And then they're out to dinner one night with a girl named Lily or Lillian and her family. In the movie, it shows that Hardin knew Lily from his past, but that's not true. Hardin never knew Lily. This was the first time he ever met her, and the families are having dinner together. They're not separate. And before they go to dinner, like I said, Tessa and Hardin had an argument, and that is that part of that scene. And you also have on the same trip where Hardin runs into Lillian's girlfriend and finds out that Lillian is a lesbian and that her father don't approve of it. So he doesn't tell Tessa about Lillian, and Tessa thinks that Hardin is into Lillian, so she gets jealous and goes out with the waiter from the restaurant who Hardin didn't like. And that causes a friction between them and whatnot, and they end up getting over it, and yeah. But then there was the hot tub scene in the movie. In the movie, it looks like Tessa and Hardin were fighting in the hot tub scene because Hardin asked her if she ever had feelings for Trevor, who is a guy that Tessa worked with. And Tessa admitted yes, she did. So then Hardin gets out of the hot tub, walks away, and they're fighting. Where in the book, Hardin thinks that Tessa is trying to get pregnant so he moves to Seattle with her. And this was part of a lot of the arguments in the book is because Hardin don't want kids where Tessa does. So that's what leads up to their big main argument on this trip. Also, Hardin sabotages Tessa's apartment in the book for a place for her to live in Seattle. And Tessa's not happy about this because she's very excited about Seattle. She just wants Hardin to be happy for her. And he thinks that she's leaving him to go be with other people, which she's not. She wants him to go with her, and he don't want to go. Also, in the book, you get more of Tessa's dad and what his troubles are. He is a drug user, an alcoholic, and has a lot of issues with that. And at one point, Hardin is keeping this from Tessa because he doesn't want to worry Tessa while she's gone. But Tessa ends up coming home and finds out anyways, and she's not very happy with her dad. But Tessa has a lot of sympathy for her dad, so Hardin ends up getting a hold of Tessa's mom, and her mom shows up in the book. In the movie, her mom isn't anywhere in this part of the movie, and the dad's really not shown that much in the movie, if you think about it, as he is in the book, which I was very kind of upset with because I felt like that was a big part of this story also. And I understand movies can only have so much in it because they only have so much time, but this was a third movie. They obviously had a bigger budget. They could have probably made it a lot longer movie than what it was. Also, Tessa's mom doesn't like Hardin, which was a really big surprise on him calling her. The biggest scene in this book that made me so mad that they left out was the going away party that Steph, who was Tessa's old college roommate, was throwing a going away party for her. Hardin ends up deciding not to go to it because he's mad that she's leaving for Seattle, obviously. So she ends up going, and she decides to drink at this party with her friends. I mean, she thinks that they're her friends, but then she finds out that Steph drugged her drink, and Steph and a couple of her guy friends take Tessa up to the room because she's going to film this to make it look like Tessa was hooking up with another guy because of some stuff from the past that Hardin did to her she was getting back at him for. Obviously, it's not okay, and enter Zed finding out. And Zed wasn't even in this movie, which kind of made me upset because he was kind of one of my favorite characters in the book. He saves Tessa and takes her home, and this is where her mom's more in the book also. And it was just crazy that they didn't add this part in the movie, and because it was a big part in the book. But then this explains how Tessa and Hardin were fighting when she was in Seattle because Zed was there and he didn't want her hanging out with Zed, but she did, and caused a lot of fights. The last thing I'm going to mention is the part in England where Tessa goes with Hardin's mom to the dress shop, and then afterwards they have lunch together. But they leave out the part where Hardin's mom's friend shows up, and this was not a huge part in the book because it was more of a bigger part in the second book, but the friend's daughter was like Hardin's first bet that he made and kind of ruined her life for a while. But then in the end, it turned out that her life was good. She was having a baby and was married. Now let's get into the parts of the movie that I really liked. I really liked the scenes on the vacation. I loved how they executed the ending of the movie with the big twist at the end. And they played that out really, really, really good. And probably my favorite part in the movie is seeing how happy Tessa was when Hardin showed up finally to Seattle to spend time with her. And I love the club scene, but that ending really it nailed it. I think that just brought the movie all together, and made it worth watching till the end, because that is a big reason why Vance is a big part of Hardin's life. And I thought that was amazing, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm not saying that the movie was horrible. I'm just saying that they left a lot of the big parts out that were in the book, and that was very disappointing. But yeah, I mean, the movie was good. All the movies in this series are pretty good. The books are way better, I will say that. That's why, in my opinion, for this one, the book is better than the movie. And I would give the book a 4 out of 5, where I would give the movie a 3 out of 5, because of the big parts that I talked about that they left out. That is it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you want to know when I'm posting, hit that subscribe and that notification bell so you will know the next time that I am posting. And if you have any ideas of books to movies that you would like me to read and then watch and do a video about, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye!